All right, now that I have my microphone on, we're just doing some testing here to check the audio delay, so bear with me for a second here. All right, let's check this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't get that because I just watched my previous stream and it was way off, and now it seems fine right now with me watching it live. Um, all right, so let's check this. I'm going to hit on my PS4 up, down, up, down. Come on. Come on, you. All right. That wasn't supposed to sound the way it did. Damn it. I'll just use this little button. All right, so here's the other cool thing is that I actually finally took the time to get my phone connected to my mixer via Bluetooth, which again, I'm going to be making a video real soon of a virtual tour of all the equipment I got going on around here, especially now that I added the lights and all the different equipment. I got some cool stuff. But now, the problem I was having the other day when I was trying to test my live stream was that if I tried to, you know, put my live stream and watch it on my PC to try to check all these audio syncs and stuff, you know, it would just continuously loop the music, right? Because I would input the music, or input the audio, stream it, and then listen to it, brought it back to my PC, which the stream is, or my streaming software is picking up the PC sound, so it would just continuously loop. So now the cool thing, and the reason why I finally took the time to do it, was I have a 2-channel mixer where channel 1, and this is just strictly for me, has nothing to do with what you guys see on the stream. And I don't know why I'm telling, no one's watching this, but if somebody watches this back and wonders why I'm streaming, there's no video gaming going on right now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. No video gaming. This is just strictly me doing some testing and talking about my setup. So again, my mixer, it's 100% in regards to my headset. So what I got going on here, let's just talk through it because I'm bored. I have digital audio coming out of my PlayStation, you know, an optical digital audio cable. I got the same thing coming out of my PC. Both of those go into their own DACs, their own individual digital audio converters that convert those into what you're used to seeing, the red and white stereo cords. And then those stereo cords plug into channel 1 and channel 2 on my 3-channel mixer down here. So channel 1 is all my PC audio. Channel 2 is all my PlayStation 4 audio. Now what I've added on is it actually has a 3rd channel that is either USB or Bluetooth, whichever one you want to use. So I connected my phone finally via Bluetooth to the mixer. So now on channel 3, I can listen to that. And then again, because this is all strictly in my headset, this isn't what goes to the PC or to the PS4. This is what's coming out of everything to my headset. So now I actually have the ability to do some testing. I can live stream, kick any sound out of my PS4, out of my PC, stream it up to YouTube, and then just watch on my phone. And while I'm watching on the phone here, I can listen to it in my headset. So the way I get the sound wirelessly, because you can tell usually I have a wire hanging out right here, which isn't there right now. That is not necessary. Obviously, I'm doing it right now. That's 100% wireless because these headphones are really unique and I love them. And the fact that they come with this little USB dongle, for those of you that are a little bit tech savvy, if you're used to like wireless internet USB dongle type things, it's the same thing. It comes with one of those and it has a stereo jack on it. And what I do is I run a stereo cord out of the headphone jack on my mixer, right? So channel 1, 2, and 3 that are getting mixed down come out of that stereo jack and they plug into that USB dongle, and that USB dongle transmits the signal to my headphones. So that's how I'm listening wirelessly. The only reason why I ever have a wire plugged in here is because that goes into the back of the microphone, and that allows me to hear myself. Because no one else is talking right now, there's no other sound. I don't need that because I can kind of hear myself in the room. But usually when there's, you know, game sound and then chat sound and then even some PC sound going on, I have to myself have the ability to hear myself talk. Otherwise I'll get speech jammed. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. But I wanted to test this out. What else was it about the, there was something else about the mixer. Oh, the cool thing about the mixer. Should we go into this? We're bored. We're sitting here talking. Why not? So, the mixer is really cool because if I'm doing something and I need to hear any one of those sounds, anything from my PC or anything from my PlayStation 4 or now anything from my phone, I have the ability, because my headset's not being used. That's the one thing I hate about these headsets. They time out. There's an option to turn that timeout off, obviously, so it doesn't kill your battery. There's an automatic, if you're not being used within, I think, 5 minutes, it'll time out. And I can't turn that off because there's a firmware issue, but I'm not going down that road. Yeah, the cool thing about the mixer, obviously, for anyone that has ever done any entry-level DJing, is that I have the ability, with the flick of a switch, to, you know, raise and lower the volume on my PC or my PlayStation 4, and it doesn't affect the stream. So that's the good part, right? Like if I want to change my stream, I use my software and I can switch the volumes around there as to where just specifically for what I hear, I have control with little volume levers, and that makes it really nice and unique. I'm not sure who's watching, but if you're sticking around, there's no intentions of playing games right now. I was doing some testing on my stream, and now I'm just kind of bored and talking about my setup. So the whole reason why this project started, so a few years ago, a buddy of mine he started his own YouTube channel, and we kind of did some random uploads, nothing major. It was kind of just, you know, it was actually really tedious to have to, because at the time I wasn't live streaming. It was 100% record your video. You know, we'd play, hey, what's up, Dyer? I'm doing this video because of you, or I'm doing this stream. Let me plug this in so I can hear myself. Because I saw your comment and I went back and watched, man, and I saw the same thing. First off, the lights. It should be a little bit better right now. I was strictly recording with just the 2 new lights that I bought. I didn't have my actual overhead light on, which I have on now, so that should help out a little bit. I've been looking into getting like a ring light for around the camera to, you know, put a little bit on the face. So yeah, thank you for that. And second off, man, yeah, I went and watched that stream for just like a minute, and the audio was completely a disaster. Let me know if it looks the same to you right now. Like if I give you a 1, 2, 3, I just did this test. Before I even live streamed, I recorded it directly to my hard drive, and it looked perfect on the timing. And now I'm live streaming it and I was watching on my phone, which I don't have the volume on right now, so I can't do it. But just a few moments before you joined, I think. Audio and lighting are fixed, man. I didn't change anything. Well, obviously the lights, I changed overhead, but as far as the audio, I didn't change anything. So I don't know if maybe my PC, if there was some PC performance going on earlier, maybe that came into play, but I'll just have to ask people when I'm live streaming to let me know. We didn't have anybody watching earlier, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. Wish things would just work. But now, since I was in here doing testing, I was just kind of talking through my equipment and stuff, and the only reason why I'm actually legitimately uploading videos and streaming was because a few months ago, me and Jason and Big Chris Harrell, they all, you know, we've been playing PS4 for a couple years together now, and so we've never needed anything. It was just I had my Turtle Beach headsets that were connected to my PS4. We did everything strictly there. If I ever did any streaming back then, I used the built-in service on PS4, and I was actually doing a lot of streaming to Twitch at the time instead of YouTube. Man, I don't know why this stuff is just now working. But a couple months ago, they wanted to play Counter-Strike on Steam. So we all booted, Chris hooked up Jason with a little crappy laptop, and I have my good PC that I don't really use for anything. So we all started playing, but then none of them had PC headsets. So we all turned on our PlayStation 4s, and it's like, okay, it's cool, we can chat, but I couldn't hear the game. And especially in a first-person shooter, man, if you can't hear your game, you're not going anywhere. Right? So the sound is that important. So that's what sent me down this whole road. The only reason why I stream and do actual legitimate uploaded videos now is because we played Counter-Strike one day. And I said to myself, I need to... It's 2018. There's got to be a headset out there that can connect to my PC and my PS4 at the same time. Lo and behold, I found these. They were like $120. I was like, okay, I'll spring for $120. I didn't realize when I got it before I got it, that it wasn't going to be... that I can connect. It said you can connect 3 devices at one time. I didn't read far enough to tell that you could only connect to one wireless, and then I could do one USB and one stereo jack. So that's how you get to your 3. So I was like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But then the first night I went to play with Jaybird, I was using this microphone that's built into this right here. Well, I hope that doesn't turn it on, but. And the first thing, I knew it was going to happen because while I was listening to music, and these headsets right here, they are the best, most comfortable, best sounding headsets I've ever had in my life. I knew before I talked to him, I knew the microphone was going to be shit, because there's no way everything could just align and the universe could be good, right? Something was going to be wrong about these headsets that I loved. So sure enough, Jason told me, he's like, hey man, like what did you do to your microphone? It sounds horrible, because I didn't tell him I got a new headset. So that's how I knew he wasn't just busting my chops. Like, he could tell without me telling him. So okay, so I thought to myself, for a day or two, I'll send them back. Like, I can't justify $120 for a headset and it not have a good microphone. But then I thought to myself, like, man, I like the headset so much, I'm willing to, like, why don't I just go get a microphone? So then I started looking into this. And I spent days and days researching, because I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on shit again. Or not again, because, again, I do like these headsets. But I didn't want to spend a bunch of money and then come across another problem. And ran into the same issue. Like, the ability to have a microphone that goes, like a USB microphone, like, you can't split USB. USB works on slave to master, right? So you can't have it going to 2 devices. You can't have one source going to 2 outputs. And it was impossible for me to find a microphone that had multiple outputs. This is the only one I could find, and luckily it's an Audio-Technica 2100, and luckily for me, it's actually a very highly reviewed microphone in general. So I did some researching, and I couldn't find anybody really to confirm whether or not it has an XLR. Let's see if we can get this up here. It has an XLR and a USB output. It actually has 3 outputs. It has, the stereo jack, which is only supposed to be used really for real-time monitoring of your voice, and then your normal analog XLR and your USB digital outputs. So I found one guy that kind of like semi-confirmed that you could actually use the XLR and the USB at the same time. So I went out on a limb, and what I'm doing is I'm running the USB directly to the PS4, and that allows me to send my voice to everyone in my party chat when we're playing the game. And then I run the XLR out to it's a Behringer. I can't show it because the cord's not long enough, but I have a Behringer audio interface. So the XLR plugs into that audio interface, and then it spits out a USB to the computer. So there, technically, and long story short, I have 2 USB outputs coming out of this by the end of everything. So that solved the problem that with us playing Counter-Strike, and since that day we've never played a PC game. We played one night, and now we're back on PS4. So all that money down the road. So yeah, I was able to make sure that not only can I hear all my sources at one time, now I can speak to them. So even if it's not a live stream thing, if for some reason, say tomorrow they said, hey, let's go play Counter-Strike, I could boot up the PC. They still don't have PC headsets, right? So I would have to still use the PS4 to talk to Jason and Chris, but now I could also hear my game audio on the PC as well as speak to people in the PC chat. So it's like I have a really, from what at least all the research I did, a really unique setup compared to what most people are able to do that have the same problems, and I'm like super excited about it because it works really well. All right, so I was thinking about the issue we're having with your capture card having to reconfigure the PS3 and then things. Yeah. man, like I said, all this stuff, man, I get on these paths and none of it has anything to do with me. The program that interfaces the capture card, clone that program. What's up, Draw? When are you actually going to do the Infinity Gauntlet? I'm not sure which Infinity Gauntlet you're talking about, Draw. So go ahead and reply and let me know what exactly you're talking about. Poor Hawk. I'm kind of just talking about my audio setup and our whole setup. Configure one for PS3 and one for PS4. Okay, so here's the problem. Without wasting everyone's night here, take a sip of my drink. The only reason why I have this capture card, it's the original, I think the original. It's not the current one. It's an old Elgato capture card. And this is when me and Lisa were living in Ohio. And me and my buddy were playing PS3 together. He's the one that got me into Warcraft. I would never know Warcraft existed if it wasn't for him. He is notorious for buying stuff and raving about it for a week or two and then hating it and getting rid of it. He's had like probably legit. Yeah, Geiger. If you come to my channel, Geiger, if you see me, I am talking about you. He's had at least 5 PS4s, probably close to 10 PS3s. This capture card, he bought it, he loved it, then he hated it, and he wanted to sell it. And I didn't really need it. Obviously, I didn't use it. That was 4 years ago. It took me 3.5, 4 years to start using it. But he said he wanted to sell it, and he gave me a good offer on it. I don't remember how much at the time, but like it was like probably 75% of the normal cost, and with all the additional cords that he bought, because he didn't have, I think, some of the technology that I have on the television. I think he had to use his component cables or something like that. So he gave me all that. So he gave me a good deal, but it's the only reason why I have this capture card in the first place. The problem with it, while I do love this Elgato, so I'm down with Elgato products. I really want an Elgato green screen. I love theirs because it rolls up and down, so I wouldn't have to have it permanently up. And then this Elgato Stream Deck. I love this thing. This is how I do my little sound cues, like my victory music. Maybe I turned off my PS or my PC sound in my headset. I don't know. But yeah, Elgato, that's what I'm using. And the problem with it is you can't have 2 setups. Like, it is one core application. Like, I'm not actually using their software to do this stream. I'm using Streamlabs OBS. But in order to change the input, you have to actually open up the Game Capture HD, the Elgato Game Capture software, switch it from PS3 to PS4, and there's no. So you're saying something about, let me see here, configure one for PS3 and one for PS4. I don't know how I could. Maybe if I installed it in 2 different drives or two different locations, and I could tell my PC maybe to consider those 2 separate applications, maybe that might be possible. I don't know if any of that is stored in memory on the physical device itself. That's a good point. Maybe I can look into that. Because I'll tell you, when I went to switch it to the PS3, it was a huge pain in the ass. Like I went into, I can't show you guys over here. I wish I did, but I don't have it set up right now to show my screen for the PC. But yeah, there's a button on your source. They call them sources. All right, so I go to my Elgato source, and there's a configure button on it, and you pop it up, and in there it says, PS3 or PS4, and I would switch it, like I switched it to PS3, and it just continuously said, no signal, no signal, no signal. I had to shut down the streaming software or the I do my streaming and recording out of the same software, so I had to shut it down, and then go in and actually open up the Elgato software itself and do the same thing there, and it just, whatever, there was something that was happening that every time I would try to change it, like I would hit the configure video button, and before I could go over to the drop down to switch it between PS3 and PS4, like that screen would disappear, and every time I'd hit configure video, it wouldn't pop back up. So I had to be quick, and I had to shut down all the software, get into the system tray, like actually kill the process, and then try to be quick enough to switch that before it would shut down. It was a huge pain in the ass, but I see what you're saying, and I would definitely look into that to see if I can try to make it tell that there's 2 different locations of that EXE. Yeah, man, I'm definitely on board with you. I see what you're saying now. I'm going to give that a shot. And I think that'll work, so as long as nothing's stored locally on the device, right? Like, as long as it doesn't have its own memory, we'll find out, because that would be cool. Because, yeah, like right now, so now we're going to go off onto another, I'm going to turn my phone off so I don't kill it. go off onto another venture, I have an HDMI matrix, right? Because technically I have 3 monitors here, but I'm only using 2 for personal use. My third one is strictly 100% work. It's connected directly to my work laptop, nothing else. Now my other 2 have several different inputs, right? Like I have one input for my PC. I have one input for my cable television. I have one input for PS3 and one input for PS4. At least that was the original intent. So I bought a 4x2 matrix. 4 inputs, 2 outputs, to where I could hot switch them with the push of a button. This little controller, I can tell, no, important updates are pending. Remind me later. So at the push of a button, either one of these 2 screens, I can pick any one of those 4 inputs. That was the original intent. So it was, you know, channel 1 was PC, channel 2 was cable, channel 3 was PS3, channel 4 was PS4. Easy to remember. 1, my primary thing that I do is PC. 2, I just left that cable. That way PS3 would match 3 and PS4 match 4. So, God, this is turning into a crazy video now. So when I moved back into the home office, and I'll get to something else in a moment. When I moved back into the home office, I said, man, it would be nice, because the Elgato capture card I'm using, it has 2 inputs on it. It has HDMI, which is the PS4 is going through HDMI, and then it has a component S video type cable, which is the PS3. So I thought maybe if I could plug both of those in at the same time and then use the software to switch on and off, which technically you should be able to, but it's just been a huge pain in the ass. And then because I'm capturing the gameplay, as well as that, Elgato is not just capturing the gameplay. That's how you guys are hearing the party chat, because that is, you want to see people losing their mind, get on Google and look at people trying to capture their party audio through an external drive and stream like I'm doing, because people are flipping out and not figuring out how to do it. And it's like, all you had to do is switch the PS4 audio output to being, you know, to output it like it's going to your TV. And because the Elgato is capturing everything that goes to the TV, then obviously I can pick that up and stream it. I just mute my television. If I didn't mute my television, you guys would hear the echo. Well, a little bit, because I got a dynamic mic. But yeah, that's cool, man. And I really do appreciate you. Like, if you find stuff like that and you comment on my video and let me know, like, I really do appreciate it, because I don't want, look, my gameplay is shit. There's nothing I can do about that. I'll keep practicing Fortnite and all these games. I'm just not good at those kind of games. I'm not good at them unless they're like slow paced and strategy. And Fortnite, the way it's going, where people are, the pro players are the ones that can build really quick and they use mouse and keyboard. Like, dude, I'm drinking alcohol and just trying to relax and have a good time. I can't get sweaty tryhard good at these games. So if my gameplay can't be good, I sure as hell want the stream quality to be good, which is why I've invested so much money in, you know, the DACs, the audio interface, the mixer, the stream deck, the overhead lights. I'm so proud of these lights, man. These lights, next to my fan, my little $20 Vornado, the lights are probably my favorite thing that I've got going on, because again, that's another thing I saw people like not liking. Like in my scenario, like I'm literally 2.5, maybe 3 feet away from my wall, so there's not room for me to put tripods up, which these lights came with tripods, like nice ones. There's no room for me to put those. I can't put those over there. But I have this nice shelf up here holding my PS3 and my PS4, so I figured, you know, I'll just put a couple microphone booms on there and I'll attach the lights to those. That didn't exactly work out the way that I thought it was going to, because I thought the light fixtures themselves, because I even asked the manufacturer before I bought them, and they said that there's a 1/4 inch screw on top of the tripod that the lights hook onto. They don't. They do not at all. The lights, it just has a hole. The light holder things just have a hole, and they sit on the tripod, and there's a little tension screw that screws into the side of that, and that works fine for them. But for these microphone boom stands, there was way too much wiggle, and the lights would just, like, when I would let go of it, they would just fall straight down. So I had to go to Lowe's and just grab a couple nuts, actually, that ended up working perfectly, that put enough tension up inside there to hold them. So very happy with the way they worked out, especially because, and again, I'll show you guys, I'm really going to get around to making the video of the tour around the home, or the office. It's really cool just the way it worked out, that the length of the cord, first off, for the lights being above me, get all the way down to the ground where my surge protectors are at. And then second, that the buttons to turn them on and off is literally right at the base of the microphone boom stands. Like, I couldn't have asked for that to work out better, and they're not hurting my eyes. Like, the chroma screen behind me is like, I had to really like tinker with it. Like, if I recorded during the day with this window next to me, I had to change it, right, because I had soft white lights in here instead of the daylight. So the chroma key wouldn't work the same in day as it does at night. Today I don't have those problems, so I'm happy about that. Reduce your gamma on the cam feed. What will that do? Let's go take a look at that, because I did see that setting earlier. Take a look at that and get into my editor. All right. Webcam. Properties. Configure video. And, all right, so the gamma is not able to be edited on that screen. I saw it somewhere on here. I saw somewhere where it could be edited. I wonder, I did a recording earlier because I actually have a legitimate ending screen now, like my intro screen, and I think that's where I saw, because I wasn't recording on this software, I was just using the default camera software on Windows 10. I'll get to that next comment in just a sec. I'm just checking to see if I can find... You know what? I'm a goddamn liar about not changing anything since you told me my audio is out of sync. Okay, so if you want to reduce your gamma on the cam feed, like 12%, I'd say make it a little less bright. Oh, well, I know there's an actual brightness setting I can change. There is a gamma button in here also, but it's grayed out for some reason, and that could just be strictly the... When I hit configure video inside of the streaming software, it actually launches the literal camera properties on the Windows, or not the Windows software, but on the Logitech software. And from there, it's grayed out. I could take down the brightness a little bit. Like, that's obviously way too much, but maybe just a couple ticks down there. Do 118. Oh, so I said I didn't change anything. And the thing is, I've done on the audio sync. I've done a ton of research since I've been having these problems with it. Well, I've always had the problems with it. I just never realized because I never cared to check or no one told me. But I've done plenty of research, and I know about applying the delay to make it sync up, because obviously when you're capturing the stuff in something external and sending it to the PC and then streaming it, obviously there's going to be a delay. But I just did some more research right before I tested this, and I found, and I don't know if this did anything, but there's an option on my webcam itself. I don't capture my webcam audio. Obviously, I'm using this microphone, but there is an option on the webcam to tell it that you're using a separate microphone, and I checked that option, so maybe that did. I mean, I can uncheck it here. Let's uncheck that real quick. I saw that little glitch there, so now, or hitch. So now I think that it is using the new setting where I just turned that off. Let's see if this is out of sync. 1, 2, 3. Let me know if that's out of sync, Dyer. I'm going to turn that back on, because maybe that was it. Use custom audio device. Here we go. Your camera controls your highlights, not overall brightness. Okay, I'll see if I can get... No, that's good. Okay. I don't know. I can only chalk it up to maybe I don't know. I don't know if it was maybe internet latency and just the encoding wasn't syncing. I don't know. It's a pain in the butt, though. I wish things would just work. All right. I also noticed that it seemed like some of the sound volumes could use a little bit of adjusting too, but that's hard to do because I have to actually have the game going and other people playing as well. I actually seemed like my voice was really loud. Like maybe I don't have to have this microphone in my face. I did turn the audio interface 100% up the other day because I was really trying to get this out of the screen a little bit. But I don't want to yell with my kids asleep, obviously. And then I also don't want to have like, I don't want to pick up, you know, my voice at the normal level, but then add a whole bunch of background static just because I'm blasting, you know, the gain and stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, man, I really do appreciate all the input. And if you come across something, and even if it's something that hasn't been a problem before, if something pops up and you want to let me know in a comment, like I definitely will read into it and go test it and try to get it worked out because I want it to work good. I want it to at least look good. See, like my camera, I could if I center myself to my television, I should be right here. And obviously we're off a little bit, so we could pan that. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah, it's if I care if the microphone's in the center, I guess, at least. Yeah, I don't care about the microphone being in the center as long as I'm pretty well centered. Excuse me. What else I need to do? Lock all these items so I don't move them around. That's my biggest gripe about Streamlabs OBS as opposed to normal OBS. Well, I don't know about opposed because maybe OBS has the same problem, but sometimes you'll go to grab one of your items on your stream, like say my camera, and I'll go to move it, and I don't realize sometimes it grabs like an entire folder, like my camera plus the title underneath of it plus all those little individual icons, and moves them all, and there's no undo button. So that's kind of a pain. But Streamlabs OBS, man, it's the way to go. I love this program. It's so user-friendly. All right. Oh, it's 3:30, man. What are you still doing up? I'm going to bed. I appreciate the input. We're going to come back and do some streams tomorrow night. If you or anyone else is around. Since I'm here, I'm going to do one final test. Like I said, I did. Actually, I didn't fix that button on my Stream Deck. Actually, I didn't even add my... I have a new screen for when I need to step away from the camera. My new Be Right Back screen. I wanted to test that. Maybe we can add it in real quick. Let's add it in. I don't know if I can add it to my my Stream Deck on the fly, but I can definitely add it to the stream itself. That's going to be black for a second. I have to add the video source. It's going to take just a second. Add a new source. A media source, because this should have its own music. Add new source. Hold on. I have to search for the file, and we will actually loop this one in case I'm gone for that long. To be right back. There we go. So this is the only thing that's kind of a pain, is that I know that right now there should be audio playing, and I can't control the volume. Oh yeah, I can. Let's take this down a little bit. So I'll have to come back and check, or if you can tell. Damn, you're playing. Man, if it wasn't, the only reason why I'm with this late is because I have to medicate my kid at 5 o'clock before I go to bed. Otherwise, we are going to get on some WoW soon. Like this week. I am going to make myself a new character. I started responding to your message on my phone. Let me get off the screen so you can hear me, because I don't know if that music's too loud on that. Let me know if that needs to go up or down if you can tell. But I started responding on my phone, and my phone was dying, and I switched over to my computer, and I forgot to tell you. Yes, I do have a character that's max level on that server with some good stuff on them, but I'm going to make a new character because I'll probably make that Blood Elf Paladin, or I don't know, maybe even a Hunter. I'm going to make a Blood Elf, though. Alright, so now we have a Be Right Back screen. And I'm going to add that to Stream Deck real quick if I can. Alright, so switch this to Be Right Back. Alright, so now... do it to me here. Alright, so yeah. Now with the touch of a button on my Stream Deck, I can switch between my sources. So yeah, my start, intro, live, Be Right Back. Okay. I'm going to go survival when I get the chance. Did you, what character, did you make a Hunter? Did you go Hunter? Because I'm not going to make the same class as you. Me and my buddy, again, dickwad that sells all this stuff, makes me really mad because he gets me into stuff and then gets rid of it. One of our original characters back on Classic was, he was playing a Night Elf Hunter Beastmaster, and I was actually playing a Holy Paladin. Blood Elf Hunter, okay. Yeah, man, I will probably pick either a Paladin or a Warlock then. Most likely the Paladin. Because they should suit up pretty well together. That way we have some heals and stuff too if stuff gets thick. I mean, it's a easy server. There's no real, you know, if I'm not mistaken, that's the server that we were able to do some duos and quite a few of the dungeons and stuff. So it's been a while since I played, but I do like their server. So we'll definitely do that. Do you have headset and stuff to where you can talk and all that stuff when we play? use your pet as a tank, man. That's the way to do it. This way to now they should still be running the actual. That's the cool thing, is that they're running the Wrath of the Lich King client, even though it's, I think they're on Burning Crusade content right now on the server that that I play on. I play on their progressive server where they actually like release content like Blizzard originally did. Headphones with a mic, man. It's the way to do it. It's the way to, I'm telling people, like, and when I bought this, again, I'm not gonna go through all the stuff I talked about earlier, but after I bought all this stuff, all this equipment, Jason kept telling me every night, like, oh, your microphone's shit. And then I would get into parties with other people, and I didn't tell them I bought a new microphone, like Chris and Jeremy and all them. I got into their party, and like they instantly, like, man, why is your voice so smooth compared to what it was previously? Oh yeah, I got a new microphone. Jason said it was shit. It's just because I think he was jealous. I think he was jealous of the microphone, man. The Audio-Technica 2100. I love this microphone. I love my headset. Love all the equipment in here. I've spent too much money on it, though. Gotta knock that off. All right, man. I'm gonna hit you up later. I'm going to bed. I'm going to test this exit screen. I have a little exit video that I'm going to try to play at the end of my streams every night, so long as the audio and everything's good. Yeah, he is a hater. So I'm going to test that on my way out, man. Again, I really do appreciate you, brother. All your input, greatly appreciated with everything. So I'll catch you later, buddy. Everyone else that comes and watches, or anyone that's left over, y'all have a great night. And we are going... I probably should turn off my microphone as I go out. I'm trying to... I know I'm still recording and you can hear me, but I'm just trying to think this through, because it'll pick up my PS4 sound too if I have like Fortnite running in the background. All right, later, dude. Catch you. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the channel. I really do appreciate your support. So please remember that if you liked today's video, to give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get alerted every time we go live or whenever we upload new videos.